All right, Mets fans, quick question. What if the next long term catcher for the Mets isn't even in the major leagues yet? Everyone talks about the big league roster, of course, with Francisco Alvarez, Luis Torrens, but the Mets do, as I've been talking about a little bit last year or so, have three really intriguing catching prospects developing in the system right now. And each of them brings something completely different. One has elite discipline as a teenager at the plate. One might have the highest upside of any catching prospect in the system. And one is a power speed combo athlete who can steal 30 bases or more as a catcher. Let's break down Davidson Gutierrez, Yovanny Rodriguez, and Chris Suero, and why the future behind the plate in the organization might be more interesting than people realize. Number one, we got Davidson Gutierrez. He'll be 20 years old for all of the 2026 season. He last played in full season at low A as a 19-year-old catcher, which is not easy to do. Catching, obviously, one of the hardest positions in baseball, especially in the heat at Clover Park in Port St. Lucie, especially for teenagers. Offensively, he finished with a 242 batting average, but also a 362 on base percentage. And that can really jump out because of his plate discipline. He walked 53 times and struck out just 58. For a teenage catcher, that's extremely solid approach at the plate. Defensively, he's known for having a strong arm, although the caught stealing numbers haven't fully shown yet. That usually is something the organization obviously is still going to work on with him on the details. Footwork, pop time, accuracy, all the little things that turn arm strength into real defensive production. But one of the things that Mets development staff really liked about him is his mental makeup. He's shown the ability to stay emotionally balanced during games, which is huge for catchers. If he strikes out a few times, he doesn't spiral. If he makes an error, he still comes back and he'll still make a play defensively and even at the plate. That kind of leadership and composure is something teams always look for, obviously, in the position. Right now, the biggest question for Gutierrez is power development. If the power stats start showing up, along with the plate discipline, his ceiling could rise a bit. Heading into 2026, with some of the challenges he had in high A, I could see him kind of even almost remaining in high A, maybe ending up in double A as the season towards the end, if possible. Then there's Yovanny Rodriguez, the highest upside catcher in the system. He'll be 19 years old during the entire 2026 season. And when he signed internationally, he actually had set the franchise record for IFA signing bonuses. A whole year he had the record before Elian Pena. His first season in Dominican Summer League was a learning experience. But then he actually had to repeat 2025, and he exploded, hitting 311, 446 on base percentage, 939 OPS. That's a huge step forward offensively, even responding and repeating a lower level like that. He showed strong discipline at the plate, 25 walks, 39 strikeouts in 43 games. The power hasn't fully arrived yet, but scouts feel inside the organization there could still be upside. Possibly not Francisco Alvarez 25-plus home run upside, but there's upside. Defensively, he's considered a very strong catcher, especially for his age. Strong arm, quick release, good instincts working with the pitchers, which is something obviously very difficult for young catchers to do. Likely, he'll probably break camp stateside, but possibly even all the way down the complex league. Give him some weeks there to adjust. I wouldn't be shocked if they want to break camp with him at low A St. Lucie. Let's see how things progress. Usually they also need 2 to 3 catchers to play a lot in the heat in Florida. If his bat continues developing the way it started to do last season, he can climb the prospect rankings very quickly, hopefully reaching that top 3 status I was talking about in prior months online and in videos. Last but not least, of course, the leader, the energy spark plug, Chris Suero, the most unique player of the group. He's 22 years old, but he brings something you're not always going to see: serious athleticism. Last year, high A, double A, 16 home runs, 16 doubles, 35 stolen bases, and a 786 OPS. Yep, 35 stolen bases for a guy who catches, as well as plays left field and first base, giving him one of the most versatile profiles in the system. And teammates absolutely love him. Pitchers have described that kind of guy that would die for them on the mound. He brings energy, intensity, a ton of confidence every time he's on the field. You can see it in big moments, whether it's clutch hits in the playoffs, in the minor league playoffs. You see it in minor league spring training games at the big boy club. He's getting hits and homers. He's showing it all. So the next step, can he prove the power while improving the contact rate? So if he were to break camp, my projection in AA, what's the K rate going to be? It's going to be really important. I know not a lot of teams care about K rates anymore in the algorithms and metrics analytics world of today, but I want to see the K rate lowered a little bit to go with its power, get that hit tool going with the defense and versatility. And again, this is a guy. Maybe you want to have him be a version of a Dalton Varsho on the active roster someday soon. But when you look at the Mets catching pipeline, very different types of catchers. Again, Gutierrez, young, disciplined, strong leadership. Yovanny, very high ceiling if he puts it all together. Chris Suero, the super speed and power combo. How will it translate AA, AAA? But one of the questions is to you guys, who do you think has the highest ceiling? Even though we got to experience Chris Suero at the major league level, but for those of you that know about Gutierrez, Yovanny Rodriguez, Suero, who do you think is going to have the highest ceiling and really kind of take over as a, hopefully, maybe a permanent starting catcher? Drop your answers in the comments. I'm really curious to see what you guys have to say. And if you enjoy my ongoing Mets coverage, of course, subscribe to the channel, New York Mets Dove Report. I'm here all the time, pretty much every day, providing New York Mets content, major league and minor leagues. Thank you guys for all the support you've been giving me, and I'll see you guys next time.